We're back on Sportsbit, Paulie and Teddy. Betting Insight today. We continue with Big Game Breakdown, as always, live odds, sportsbookreview.com. The Bills always play well in Miami. They're 2.5, 44.5 the total. McCoy is out. That's huge. But they are unbeaten since they fired Greg Norman, the offensive coordinator, and promoted Anthony Lynn. And a huge loss because McCoy averaging 6 yards per carry. But also, the defensive play calling was turned over from Rex Ryan to Dennis Thurman. An anonymous Bills player, quote, I think before we were chasing Ghost. Since then, we've been calling it just lining up and playing. So they are on a roll here, and Buffalo's thinking playoffs.
Sure, and Buffalo's facing the right teams at the right time, including the Dolphins this week. You know, I mean, this is a hot team, but 2 weeks ago they faced the Rams. The Rams were missing 3 of their top 5 on the defensive line, all hurt. The Bills ran for 193 yards and win. Last week, they got the 49ers without Navarro Bowman. The Bills run for 312 yards and win. But when you talk about Shady McCoy out, that's an impact injury. And I don't generally think running backs have impact injuries. But McCoy, as you mentioned, has averaged 6 yards per carry since Roman got fired. So what are we talking about? Mike Gillespie? Reggie Bush?
Yeah.
Here's a quote from Tyrod Taylor. Losing a player like Shady definitely hurts a team, losing a guy with his type of ability. I think he'll be okay, but we have guys, Reggie, Mike, Jonathan Williams, that are ready to step up and take the challenge. All those guys have proven they can play, and they'll accept the challenge. I agree with all of that, but Shady McCoy's a special back right now at the NFL level, and Buffalo will miss him.
No, I'm with you. Not only is he out Sunday, he might miss a couple games, so that's a big blow to Buffalo. Now Miami, 2 weeks ago, they started Billy Turner and Dallas Thomas on the left side of the offensive line. 8 first downs, 200 total yards, and 51 rushing yards against Tennessee. They were cut after the game. Last week, Albert and Laramie Tunsil were back. Tunsil was out. He slipped in the shower. That only happens to old people. Come on. You got Pouncey back at center, starting at the offensive line playing together for the first time all season. Look what happened against Pittsburgh. 24 first downs, 474 total yards, and 220 rushing yards against the Steelers. What a world of difference that made.
Sure. And again, offensive line, you know, when you watch the talking heads on TV, they're going to tell you all about the skill position players and all about the quarterbacks and the receivers and the running backs. And you will rarely, if ever, get quality information about what offensive lines are really good, who's healthy, who's not. Same story on the defensive side of the football. As a handicapper, if you do one thing to beat the NFL, handicap offensive defensive lines. Pay attention to who's hurt, who's not, who's active, who's going to play, what the depth chart look like. And I guarantee you that one change, the one focus on offensive line, defensive line, will change your winning percentage in a positive fashion over the long term. And again, I guarantee you it should happen. But you talk about Miami offensively, again, that Bills defense, since Dennis Thurman started calling plays, this has been real quiet. You know, no one said, "Oh, Ryan, you've been demoted again." Hey, your brother's not going to get to call the plays anymore. But that defense has been a heck of a lot better. That quote was great. Before we were chasing goats.
Yeah.
Now we're just lining up, ghosts, I should say, lining up and playing. Yeah, that's what the Bills need to do. They're going to win this game and cover this point spread and continue that 4-game winning streak and make it 5.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.